Okay, so Leon is here. Cool. So I'm going to do this again. We're here live at the Black Rock Coalition's second night.
Who said we live?
Well, we're not dead.
Oh. Did that qualify?
Yeah.
Doesn't qualify.
We do another show like last night, or we'll be dead.
Whoa.
No.
Whoa. Whoa. Body
Yes,
blow.
I went there. Yes, I went there. Anyway,
Body blow.
we're paying tribute to Curtis Mayfield tonight at Brooklyn Academy of Music. And yes, Haiti is definitely on the minds of everybody. Absolutely, Haiti. So we're chatting here at dinner before we do our second show, and we're talking about classic 80s music, and we're looking at some old videos here. That's Kelsey Warren over there, and then we have VJ Smith over here. Right. Right.
What you saw, I didn't do it.
Right. Well, yes, you did do it. This is the whole point of this. See, now, as I said yesterday, you're so low down, low key, and low humble. Low humble. See, I just created a new phrase. But you're so humble about what you've done. We just found out that the saxophone solo in Billy Ocean's Caribbean Queen is V. Jeff Smith. Well, we know it now. That's right. Now, was that an improvised solo or was that a written solo? Was that your creation?
I created it.
You did create it.
We kind of put it together. I got in the studio. I was just blowing. And Keith Diamond, y'all know Keith Diamond?
Yeah.
Yeah, rest his soul. He
Wayne
was just rolling the tape while I was playing. And he said, "Okay, we got it."
Right.
And then we actually put it together. We took certain.
It was
parts.
a composite of different solos.
But pretty much.
Right. Right. Wow. Well,
next thing you know, I'm hearing my shit on the radio. Wow.
Well, everybody who's performed that song in a cover band or even Billy Ocean, that's the solo that they do. That's part of the song.
That's it.
I feel honored.
You can't play that.
I feel honored, y'all.
Right. So do you get writer's credit for that song? You do get writer's credit.
Not writers, no.
Oh, okay. Right.
I see a check every now and then. I get my check from other things that I've done. Not from that. I was just a sideman.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
As we all are.
Right. Well, speaking of
That's
some
why
of
you
that.
got to write and produce.
Oh man, and you are one of the best, absolutely. As all around great musician. And speaking of, doing other things, other projects, you're doing another Family Stand.
Yep. Family Stand is coming. 1,000 Years.
That's the name of it, right?
That's the name of the album. 1,000
Right.
Years is coming. We're just waiting for the artwork to be done. And,
Right. And this is sort of a reunited Family Stand because it's also the return of Sandra St. Victor with not that she's ever left, right? But
well, we did the last album we did in 2007, Super Soul Nova. She was on that one.
Right.
And that was actually reuniting.
What was the one before that one?
Oh, we hadn't done an album since '97. That was with Jackie McGee.
Jackie McGee.
Yeah, that's
right. That's what I'm thinking.
That was the Connected album. Yeah. See, Dave knows all our stuff.
Well,
Dave
has
knows
total recall of.
He knows albums that we haven't even put out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a friend of mine named Greta who was like a major fan of you guys.
This is video. Don't talk with your mouth full, all right?
I hate to eat and talk, but
Kelsey, not to interrupt you with your mouth full, but yes. How was the food, by the way?
Much better than last night's.
I like last night's food.
Yeah,
I thought it was fun.
I like
last
night.
But for us non-meat eaters, we were really like, oh man, it looked good, but we couldn't taste it, but it looked good.
Right.
You look like you were having fun, Gene.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely having fun. Yeah. Kelsey, Pillow Theory is the name of the band.
What's up?
Is there an official record yet? Is there a recording?
Yeah, we have two recordings. One album called 9.5,
Uh-huh.
I don't think it's that great personally.
Is that the most recent?
What, the last one?
No, the last one is awesome.
What's the name of the?
The last one is called Outpatient.
What's it? Outpatient. Right.
Steve Albini did that one.
Uh-huh.
He did that in Chicago.
Right.
We're doing pre-production right now with Ron St. Germain for a new album.
Oh man, Saint Germain,
Yeah.
Living Color.
Living Color.
Absolutely, great production, great producer. Absolutely.
Bad Brains.
Bad Brains. Right. Right.
I think my guitarist Donos Googled him and found out that he was solid as rock.
Thank God for jerky.
Which one? That was
Like Ashford and Simpson.
Ashford and
Hey, you gotta
Simpson.
get, hey, Rent gotta get paid.
He's right. He's all over the map.
That
We
makes
like-
sense.
We like that. We like,
Yeah.
you know, people that
Get paid.
their, you know, collection has all that stuff. All that
Mhm.
stuff.
Right.
Miles Davis or
That's right.
Stephanie Mills and Slayer. You know,
Right. Right.
You want that type of hybrid mix.
Right.
With someone who understands
Mhm.
that.
Are you on a major label or?
I wish. We're naked. We have no one right now.
No, you don't need no major label.
You don't. You don't. Not
Nah,
at all.
do it yourself.
Right.
We need a
You
manager.
don't need the
We need a
Management is important.
management.
It is.
So without a label, what are the obstacles that you have to overcome to put out your own project and let people know about it, that it's out?
Yeah, I think what he's saying, you know, you really don't need a major label. I think whether the industry is doing great, the industry is doing bad, regardless, whether it's film, music, everybody needs publicity. Everybody needs a promoter. So if you have product and it's not promoted in the right way, or there's no publicity behind it, it's shooting the forest. And I love Outpatients. I stand by it. I hope it gets re-released because I think it's an album that millions of people should hear.
Right.
And it ain't dead yet.
Right.
But that's basically what we're looking for, is to take this new one and kind of hold on to it for a little while until we find the right people that want to, go forward with it. But it's still money to,
Right.
do all this, get it done right.
So until then, what do you social networking, is that important?
Yes.
Is there Facebook, MySpace?
All that saves us.
Yeah.
We can
It's the times that we're in. High five. It's the times we're in. Facebook, MySpace, Twitter.
Somebody just invited me to
We
that.
booked tours from MySpace. I mean, that's when we didn't have a
copy
booker.
of LinkedIn.
That's how we got to California.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
how we got to do a lot of shows, and then
LinkedIn's cool.
cut to find out where the people are listening to your stuff the most, and say, okay, that's where we're gonna put.
Yes.
That's how we kind of
Facebook,
survive.
anybody can.
And speaking of major labels and
Right.
disappointments and everything, I mean,
Talking people that
Jeff, Moon and Scorpio, I felt was one of the most brilliant albums, not just by the Family Stand, but just one of my all-time favorite albums, and it was Warner Brothers, right?
Electra.
Electra, right? East West, that's right, yeah. And Merlin Bob, no, Sylvia Roan, right? Right.
Wow.
Now they didn't.
Stop shaking your head.
Right.
They gave
Now,
us a shot.
Did they give you a shot? Do you feel like they gave you? Because
I mean, things happen the way they're supposed to happen.
Mhm.
For a reason. So.
You know how many mixtapes that put Skies Falling?
Sky is falling, yeah.
And that song is such an incredible song.
Yeah, it's interesting about that song because we have a line in there that says,
Merlin Bob and I used to hang out in the 70s and 80s.
Tuesday Armageddon will be here.
Because we have a common
And
cousin. Actually, Tony Humphries
talks about
not his stuff.
sky falling and around the time that 9/11 happened.
Oh yeah.
And I thought about that, and I called Sandra up right away and said, wow, man, it's kind of prophetic.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's some incredible imagery in that album with I guess Pete wrote a lot of that. He plays a lot with words and it's sort of a John Lennon kind of connection with Pete Lord and the way he plays with lyrics. So and you two work very well together.
Yeah, well, that was all of us. Pete, me, Sandra.
Right.
Everybody needs to make a Moon and Scorpio.
Absolutely. Yeah.
No matter what you do,
Right.
everybody at least should do a Moon and Scorpio.
Right. Do you look at that as your masterpiece? This is the best thing that we've done.
Well, I don't think of music that way. You do the best for the time that you're doing it.
Right.
You know, because a lot of things you could look back and say, oh, I wish I could have did this better, or
Right.
we could have did. But you do the best that you could do at the time that you're doing it, and
Right.
and it's good for that time. I mean, there's a lot of things we listen to now and say, oh, we could probably do this better, do that better. But you do what you do for that time. It's supposed to be for that time and space.
Right. Right.
So that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I could probably say sonically our best album was probably the Connected album. That album was just sonically. But that music was a little different. It wasn't as edgy as Moon and Scorpio. Moon and Scorpio was probably our edgiest album.
Absolutely.
Chain. We actually had an album before Chain, which is the one with Ghetto Heaven on it.
Right.
That was we were Yvonne Jeffries on the stand.
Right.
So nobody knows about that one, but that was an interesting album too.
Interesting. Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So the next one is 1,000 Years, and I'm sure it's definitely going to be an album of this time, of our time, something that we definitely need. V. Jeff Smith.
Well, you have it, so
I have it. I haven't listened to it yet. Yes, I'm going to do it.
And get at me.
Right. And Kelsey's going to hit me with a free album too.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, man. Black Rock Coalition in full effect. Curtis Mayfield. Peace out.